Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your girl, Coach Chi, coming to you live from She Speaks TV. I am excited today to bring to you what has really turned out in the media to be a very controversial discussion that is happening right now surrounding the details of the return home of Carlee Russell. Now, the world has come to know this case as a young woman who allegedly was driving on the 459 in Hoover, Alabama. After leaving work, she reported that she allegedly saw a baby walking down the 459 highway. After that, we know that this woman has come to disappear for 48 plus hours. Around the world, everyone's asking questions. Where did she go? Where is the baby? Was she really abducted? What happened? Well, I'm excited because today I had an opportunity to connect with a young woman by the name of Aries Eye. Aries Eye was contracted by the family to come in and support the safe return of Carlee Russell. Now, we can talk about that and we're going to get into the details of how, in fact, this all transpired. But first, let me give you a little information on who Aries Eye is. Aries Eye is a world renowned medium who has worked with the likes of the FBI and local detectives in cases like the Cupcake McKinney case. You guys can Google for more information on that, and she'll speak a little bit about that as well. However, she's been featured on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne tha God and DJ Envy. She's been featured in magazines like Sheen Magazine and on social platforms like XO Nicole. This woman has been leveraged to solve murders. She's been involved in fires, arsons, missing person cases. Respectfully, her talent lends to itself. And so without further ado, I want to introduce you to who the world must come to know as Aries Eye. Aries, welcome to She Speaks TV. How are you this afternoon?
I'm well. How are you?
I am amazing. And I'm so grateful that you took some time. I know that there's been a lot of, like I said, controversy online. I know you've kind of stood down and you've waited for the family to formally acknowledge you. And I know you've been watching what's happening in the media from people referring to her as the new Jessie Smollett. I mean, we all are scratching our heads and we've got a lot of questions. But today I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your contact with the family. I want to talk about how you got involved, and then let's go from there. So I'm gonna turn the platform over to you. You tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you come to know the family member who contacted you for your assistance in this case?
Hey, y'all. I am Aries Eye. I am a psychic medium. I wanted to say celebrity psychic medium because that's
Yes.
what everybody considers me, but I'm very humble. Okay. I have the gift. I am a seer, and that is what I got recognition for. Her sister has been a client of mine since 2019. So
Wow.
we have developed a very hefty, and long term professional relationship. And to be honest, she didn't outright reach out to me. I seen her post earlier that day and I was driving. So I kind of, was at the stoplight, seen it, kept it moving. At the moment, I wasn't led to step in or interject. I was
Mhm.
more so led to sit back and watch. So I remember seeing the picture of her sister. And sometimes, like when we're driving, and most seers can, account for this, we see things, and at that moment we're tapped in. It doesn't matter if I've called her name, if I know her name, if I know a person at all. We can see things on people. And so as I was driving, I heard, just, it doesn't hurt to give a message, right? It doesn't hurt just to tell her what you see. You don't have to take the case. It doesn't hurt to let people know. And I want to stop right there
I
because
want to say, I want to stop you right there because I want to put some dates on this so that the world understands. The when you saw this, this was she went missing on July 13th. When you saw the post, it was July 14th. Is that correct? That was the day after she went
I
missing.
seen the post the day of, the
The day
morning of
of.
her gone missing, and then
Okay,
like 15 minutes later, it was showing up on the neighborhood talk. So I
gotcha.
seen it the day of. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, gotcha. And so you were driving. You took a pause, and then you reached out. Did you reached out to the family, to the sister? I'm sorry. You reached out to the sister to say what?
I said, hey, love. and she immediately said, "Oh my God, I prayed for you. I prayed that God would send you to me if you were led, because I know I don't have the money to afford your services, and I definitely don't want you working for free."
Got that. And that was a text message, correct?
This was via Facebook Messenger.
Okay, gotcha. I just want to, and the reason why I'm asking is because I know people are going to watch this. They're going to be scratching their heads. Trust and understand here at She Speaks TV, we come with receipts and we come well documented. So there was a Facebook message between you and the sister regarding this. And the sister basically said, for the audience listening, I don't have the money to be able to pay for your services because you are recognized as this is what you do. And families do come to you and you are normally compensated for this. But in this case, you did not take any money for your services, correct?
None. Right.
Okay. Continue.
So she said, and here's the receipt, you guys. I'm gonna hold the phone up this way.
Perfect.
That over here.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, as you can see, this is her message to me. This is me speaking to her. This is her response. Hey, and then this is the message. Okay. And it says, hey, love, first and foremost, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I didn't reach out because financially I didn't know if I would be able to pay you what you deserve. You were the very person I thought of when this happened. You know, by no means I am a taker, and she isn't. So I didn't want to ask you to do anything for free. I prayed and left it in God's hands and literally told myself, if it's meant to be, that you will reach out. As of right now, we have no leads whatsoever, honey. And I asked her in that moment, is there any East End? Now, mind y'all, I'm in Louisiana. I don't know anything about Alabama other than I have an apprentice in Alabama, and I just helped with a capital murder case in Alabama. Okay. Other than that, I don't have any ties there. So when I asked about the East End, I immediately then just told her, because I'm back driving. So we're not going to text and drive. What I'm going to do is send you a voice message telling you what I hear and where you need to look. Okay. Now, pause for a minute, because somebody out there is saying, well, if you were telling them a place to look and it's come out that she's not where she said she was going to be, let me tell you how it works when it comes down to psychics. This one, can't speak for everybody.
Okay.
I tap into their higher self. So what that means is, when I do a missing persons case, how I'm able to lead people home is because I'm tapping into the elevated self, not the scared self, not the person that's timid because of their circumstances. I tap into what is considered their oversoul, which is the highest level you can go in a person's thought form and energy.
Okay.
And I asked that person to show me what they saw.
Now let's pause there for a moment, because when you ask a person to show you what you saw, and I want to really break this down for the audience. If a person is conjuring up an ideal in their mind, if they're thinking, scheming, doing other things, or they're thinking or plotting, you can also see that too. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay. Carry on. I wanted to bring that out.
And so I heard her say that she was very hot and she was drugged. Okay. I also seen a storage unit. Now, mind you, with the storage unit, other seers seen the same vision. Okay. So again, when we're focusing on our thought forms, we can also, because that's what I'm saying, hey, show me what you see and give me your thoughts. I then take these thoughts back to the family, right? Correct. So I storage unit, I heard East End. I asked about a warehouse on the East End. Do you know about any warehouse on the East End? Now, mind you, the sister is not in Alabama at the time. She is traveling, trying to get there. She said there is an East End. I gave an exact address. Right? I'm seeing these numbers, don't know what they mean. let it resonate however it's supposed to resonate. I said, I see number 6021, I want to say,
Okay.
but I want to be for sure. Give me a second.
I think it might have, okay, 6201 or 6021, based on the information you sent
Let
me.
me look.
Okay.
62, I said, she said, okay. I asked, is there an east end, like street or side? She said, yeah, there is. I said, is it like a warehouse district? I'm not sure. We're actually headed to Bama right now. I will ask if it is, though. I said, because the number 6201 flashed. She said,
Mm.
okay, I'm going to send that to everyone that's on the ground right now. I said, it's a warehouse setting on whatever this east end is. The front looks like maybe an old store, an old storefront. I said, this could be a motherfucking storage facility, because I this is what I said.
Mm-hmm.
She said, thank you so much. I will keep you updated as much as possible. Is there anything else you feel led to say? Please, girl, let me know. I thank you so much. Because one thing about it, I'm going to stand on truth. Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
never going to go against that. Now, she said, I just talked to my mom. She said someone reported that they may have seen her in a vehicle in GA. Does this make any sense to you? They're headed to GA right now. I know there is an East End in Georgia. I said, is it black? Because she said somebody seen her traveling in a vehicle, right?
Mm.
She said she didn't say. Here's the receipts for me telling her, baby, she's not in Georgia. Y'all are wasting your time going to Georgia. She ain't left Alabama. Okay? She's not in Georgia. That's a waste to go up there. She's still in Alabama, sis. She said,
Mm.
I feel that in my heart too, but I'm not there yet. So I got to let them do what they're going to do, sis. She said, they still have people in Beham looking though. I
And
said,
this was on what date? Just so
this
the
was
view and time, if you can remember.
July 14th at 2:29 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. So she said, I know, I said, find out where the east end or side is, please. I know where it is. This does industrial drive or anything like that mean anything to you? Could it be west end? Okay. That's when I called, because now I'm driving again and I can't respond. I called, we talked for 9 minutes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
July, that was at 3:11 p.m. July 14th at 5:01, I asked, hey, any updates? At
Mm-hmm.
5:20, there's an audio call, no answer. Because then now I'm like, everybody quiet. Are you there yet? Have we heard anything? Now,
Mm-hmm.
when I start sensing things, 90%, I ain't gonna say 100%, but 90% of the time, I'm not wrong. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out if what I just gave you has helped. If you
Right.
look at any of my reviews, in other missing persons case, I have one posted on my social media on Instagram. For those naysayers, feel free to go look at what the mother said. She didn't believe me at first. She denied me, but it turned out that everything that I said was true.
Wow.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
she said at 6:07, no update yet, no update just yet, sis. They went out to that area and nothing. I'm going to go out there when we make it to check for myself. Um,
Okay.
this was me responding back at 6:59 p.m. on July 14th. Sis, what was there? Like, was it a warehouse type buildings? Because now I want to know, what if they went out there, what did they see? Are you going to confirm that it was a warehouse? You know what I mean? Tell me, help me help you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
she said, I'm not sure, and I can't get a clear answer from my brothers, man. I'm literally 1 hour out now, so I'm going to go myself. All right. I hearted that. It was at 7:25. Yes, because I sense that they don't believe in mediums.
Mm.
Okay.
And not only did they not believe, but at one point in time, I think the sister goes on to tell you that the authorities don't believe in mediums as well, correct? Or they don't view it as a viable.
I was explaining to her in detail how when I was working the Cupcake McKinney case for
Mm.
the aunt who had retained me to help, that the detectives laughed in my face when I told them that Cupcake, if they didn't move fast, she was going to be found deceased the next day, and she
Mhm.
was.
Gotcha.
And that was another encounter with Alabama. Okay.
Got it.
She then said, I said, but I do feel she's going to be relocated tonight. So I'm telling her, hey, I sense that they don't believe in mediums, and that's fine. But what I'm feeling when I hear her is there's getting ready to be movement between the hours of 10 and 11. I don't know what that resonates with the timeline that the detectives are going to reveal, but this is what I heard. Okay. So again, I'm just listening to Carlee's thought forms. That's it. That's all. Okay. At 8:20, she said, I'm sorry, this was 7:25. So she said, my mom wants to talk to you, love. Do you mind? She definitely believes in you. I'm on a conference call. You'll have to give me about 20 minutes. This was at 8:20. She said, no problem. Call her when you're ready. In my eyes, you've already done enough.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay.
She gives the mom's number. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm listening.
She gives the mom's number. She then asked if I will be able to, I asked her, I'm sorry. I said, you're going to be on the phone, right? She said, yes, I can be. Call me first, then I'll call her if we aren't together. At 9:57, I'm just now getting off my call. What's your number? No response. Okay, cool. 10:24, we spoke for 10 minutes. I asked her while we were on the phone, what is your sister's full name? Now, mind you, this goes to show, I just told y'all I wasn't fully invested in it. I was going off of a picture that I seen with her sister's face. Okay. I then heard her sister's thought forms by reading the energy off the picture. She then gives me her sister's full name. You see this? Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay. I said, sis, I sat on the edge of my bed and realized I have a sigil that'll help me find missing people. Pause. Let me tell y'all what a sigil is. That is magic. Okay.
The church would call it witchcraft. Let's just keep it 100. But magic is magic.
But magic is magic. And I am a black woman who is very magical, and I'm unapologetic about that. Yes, we're in a time frame and a time zone where people are dibbling and dabbling in things and celebrating it. But when you're doing it from a righteous point of view or a righteous standpoint, surely this person didn't run to witchcraft. They didn't run to witchcraft. I didn't run to witchcraft. I ran to my roots. Okay. And I believe that we all have magical powers. Some of y'all just don't know who the F you are. I do. Okay. So in this point, I'm hearing at that moment, grab the book. It's a whole sigil that'll help you find missing people. Just do it and get her home. You of all people can end this now. Get her home.
So from that point, if I pause for a moment, so from that point when you heard from your spirit guides the instructions, just go get the book. Now I want to take the listeners back for a moment and work with me here. You had been instructed by your spirit guides 2 days prior. So while you're going to get this book, I'm going to do this build up. 2 days prior, while you were at the Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those stores, you were instructed to purchase something. You had no clue why you purchased it.
Right.
Tell the listeners about that as you were preparing to get this book.
So I then open my book, y'all, and I see that it's calling for a Venus flytrap. Now, 3 days on the 12th, I was at Home Depot with my family, and I was drawn to the little Venus flytraps with their little mouths open. I was like, I don't know why I'm drawn to directly to this fly trap, because our house isn't infested. I was just drawn to them, and I was drawn to the number 3. So I got the little one with his little mouth wide open, that looked like the Little Shop of Horror. You remember that? And then I actually got the actual 2 plants. I got the little one for my baby to put in her room, but then I seen that they needed, more light. So I put them towards the front of the house. Okay. And I was like, what is the spiritual representation of the fly trap? Guess what the Venus flytrap is used for, beloveds? To catch a thief and to return what has been lost back to you.
Wow. And keep in mind, folks, she does have the receipt from July 12th when she was at the Home Depot and when she bought these Venus flytraps. Carry on, Aries.
And so I then show her, which I'm pulling up now. Give me a second. I'm going back to the messages. Where I show her what my book shows me. That, can y'all see that? Do I need to come over some, or are you good?
You're good.
All right. She said, and so I asked her, hey, do you have a white candle? Because help me help y'all, right? Because I'm doing this here again. There's no money on the table. So do you want, I can work the fly trap part of it, but can you light a white candle to energetically draw her in, right? To feed the soul. I don't have a candle here. I said, do you got a white taper candle there? She said, I don't have a candle here. No worries. I got you. Why was I led to buy 3 Venus flytraps yesterday? Okay. So my receipt says the 12th. I'm thinking, you know, whatever, but I have the receipt for the 12th. This is still the okay.
And just again, just to reiterate, the 12th is the day before Russell disappeared. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so I said, why was I led to buy 3 fly traps yesterday? I said, sis, I'm gonna use this spell to ask that she is returned back to her family.
And we want to elaborate here. Whether there was an abductor or there wasn't an abductor, the spell was designed to tap the oversoul to get this woman home. Whether that's to go home, stop playing wherever you are, get your butt up and go, or if she was under the abduction of someone, to release her to go home. The purpose of this spell, I need to reiterate it, is to get that person home by any means necessary. Carry on, Miss Aries.
And so then so at that point, I show her the fly traps. Okay. So this is, I can show you my real fly trap right now, but I want to show you that I showed her first. Okay. Gotcha. So I then say, look, everybody see that?
Yes.
Look. Okay. Yes. Girl, work it. And so work it I did. Now keep in mind, this is now, we're still on July 14th, but we're in the evening hours of 10:24 p.m. Okay. I not only worked it, I showed her the work. If you look close, there's Carlee Nicole Russell's name, aka Carlee, and I'm getting ready to form my petition to put her in the fly trap.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as of yet, have I used any demons? As of yet, have I called on any conjuring energy as witchcraft, or am I conjuring what is already present and using that in the intention to bring this baby home? That's it. That's all. At this point, I don't care what y'all are talking about or what anybody else has to say. I heard you got the power to bring her home and you have the resources. Pick up the book, utilize what you need, and get her home. That's it. That's all. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I was then led to place protection around her because, again, before I do any type of work, and you guys can look at my Instagram and Facebook are very public. Okay. Anytime I do any work, I protect the work that is taking place, not only for on my behalf, but on behalf of whoever I'm working for. Okay. So I put protection around her. I have the video of the fly trap. I think you have the actual video. I didn't send her the video that I recorded. It's on this phone that we're talking on.
Okay.
But it's not on, 2 separate iClouds. But I have the actual video with me folding the petition and dropping it in the fly trap because it scared the living hell out of me. It just was the fact that I was scared that it was going to really eat it. Like, like I didn't know how that was going to look for me. So I documented in real time the experience that I felt doing so. All right. So where petitioning in energy comes in.
And I have it. I don't know, Lawrence, if you're able to see it. Can I? I'm talking to my student manager. You have to tell me if you can.
I'm scared as hell of them. I didn't know why I was led to get this yesterday. I got 3 of them. They're spread throughout my house. But this one is the one that stood out to me. And we are going to use this for the missing young lady, Carlee Russell, aka Carlee.
Go ahead.
Boom. So I did that. And then I was led to place protection around her. And for protection, I utilized St. Anthony. Now, if you Google St. Anthony, which I invite all of you to do, St. Anthony also returns things that are missing. I didn't have a candle for St. Anthony. So what I did was I printed out a picture and I wrapped it around the same white candle that I asked her earlier, did she have? Only I didn't use a taper candle. I used a 7-day candle because, again, I'm prepared at this point to bring her home. And if it takes 7 days to do so, I just know that I'm obedient and I heard you can get her home. Okay? So I then show her St. Anthony. Okay? And the petition that I wrote for St. Anthony.
And I have that video as well. So when you're ready, I'll play it.
Here it is too. If y'all can see that. It reads, St. Anthony, we ask that you intercede and immediately return Carletha Nicole Russell. I put Carletha in Russell back to her family safe with harm to none.
And I'll play the video for them so they can see it. This was done on Friday at 11:34 p.m.
And I burned this. And what I'm chanting is for the universe to expedite my intentions. Bring it fast, bring it fast, bring it fast. Okay. And if you guys, this is the part that is the dopest to me. I want you guys to look at the face in the smoke. And I circled it because somebody's going to say they don't see it. But if you look at Carletha's picture and you look at her lips and you look at her nose, there is a woman being released from the smoke. Boom.
I have chills right now because, wow, go ahead.
I said, sis, she's being set free, sis. She's being set free, sis. Now you can see I sent her all these messages and she hearted and loved them. Here's the sent that to her as well. Okay. I said, that looks like a woman's face. She's over the St. Anthony candle. I've called for her release in 5 hours and spoke to her oversoul and infused her with protection, strength, and courage. Courage. But what I also did was returned to sender anything that was hindering her release, which means that energy was also casted out. As I was protecting her, I was targeting those who had did wrong to her.
Now, in fact, there were people that did wrong to her. Now, if it was her that did wrong to herself, then you were also bringing karma to her.
There we go. Because I balance the scales and I only touch what's righteous. What's righteous in this moment was she needed to bring her ass home.
That part.
That's it. That is all. I wasn't tapped into celebrity psychic medium Aries Eye that can talk to the dead and bring the missing people home by talking to them and telling them. This wasn't that. My team said, stop what you're damn doing and bring her ass home. And you have the ability to bring her home. In that moment, I was obedient. And anybody who has dealt with me knows I'm going to stand on obedience before I stand on anything else. Okay?
Yes.
I got a hell of a lot further in life being obedient than going against my first mind. Okay? So my first mind said intercede for justice. That's what I stand on. I balance the scales. I am a medium, which means I walk between two worlds. That's my gift. And sometimes you have to play the middleman in order for there to be order. Okay? And that's what I did. So I said 5 hours. Now, 5 hours is what I asked for. 5 hours in the universal realm could be 5 days. It could be 5 minutes. It could be hours. It's out of our hands. It's above me at this point. Okay, this is what I asked for. Doesn't mean you're going to get what you asked for, but you will get what you asked for. Hello. Okay.
Okay.
So I then pulled cards to show her the outcome of her sister's return. Okay.
And this was on Friday at 11:58 p.m. Mind you all, just from a timeline standpoint, this was a little bit less, a little bit less, about 45 minutes less, an hour less, 23 hours less before she would show back up to her home. Do you want me to play the cards or you want to play them?
No, I don't have that video on. You can play it.
So I'm going to play.
When I asked Spirit, did St. Anthony and Marie Catherine Laveau honor my petition? There was a desire to move on towards something more meaningful. A challenging beginning that leads to a release. Because a chariot comes in fast to get this person who is feeling there's an illusion of being trapped. She's afraid to take action. Look at the outcome.
An illusion.
You know what's so powerful about that? She's afraid to take action. There's an illusion. I need you all to hear this because I know the critics and the skeptics have so much to say. And we're not saying, trust me, what we're not saying, I'll be very clear, we're not saying that we believe that there was an abduction. We're not saying that we believe there's this team of captors. We're not saying all of that. What we're saying is there's an illusion of an abduction. Make that what you want to make out of it. Go ahead, Aries.
Is there more to the reading or is that it? Because I wanted you to finish so they can fit, because we stopped at illusion. If that's where it stopped, that's fine.
I think. I have it stopped at the victory card, the 6 of Earth.
Okay, but 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands, Six of Wands is a victory, okay? From an illusion that has caused you to be trapped. At 2:30 a.m., she messaged. She said, "Thank you, love. I'll call when we get back out in the morning." At 8:17, now mind you, she said they were going to look at 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8:17, I sent her a screenshot from one of my other apprentices stating that another seer had also seen a warehouse type of energy. Now, mind you, as I'm working a case or working, I use it as a teaching method for my other apprentices because a lot of spiritualists have this ability, and or individuals as a whole have this ability, and you don't have the confidence to speak up. And so I like to set the tone that it doesn't matter how stupid something looks or feels to other people. You do what you know is right because you are a superhero. And I don't care how people want to walk around and be like, oh, that's so cliche. No, baby, there's really real live superheroes walking this earth with powers to manipulate energy, and you sit on your hands and you always regret it. So I'm speaking to the person that doesn't feel worthy of stepping into their gifts. You have the power to shift the world, but you sit on your hands because you're scared of what the world is going to think or feel about you. And I'm just not her. Okay?
Love it.
So I want to also say that I said, good morning, sis. Look what my apprentice just sent me about another seer. I said, I don't think that she's gone yet. which means I don't think that she's out of that warehouse type
Or
of.
wherever it was that she put
Yes.
herself or was placed.
I said, so the storage facility isn't a reach. Okay? It isn't a reach. I did see other people. I won't talk about that right now. I did whatever this energy was, or whoever was
Involved.
I won't speak on that, okay? But I did see that the police needed to apply pressure to whatever storage facility area that I had seen from the original. Now, remember, we're talking about the original message I sent to her, and I'm asking why there's been no movement towards that area. Okay, that's it. That's all. This isn't new information. I'm still talking about that 60 whatever address that I seen on the east.
6201.
She said, "Good morning, sis. This is so much. We are headed out again today. When I get over there, I'll call you." I said, "I told you she was drugged. She's hot, and she's in a storage unit. Nobody else knows what I told you. So this confirms that other seers see what I'm seeing too." Can't make it up. She said, "Good morning, sis." Then I responded. I said, "Will the police be present? Because this is bigger than the family. This is bigger than y'all." I said, "Get the people out there so that they can check this unit." She said, "No, they're not going out unless they have valid leads. And unfortunately, they consider this to come from unfortunately, they don't consider this to come from a valuable source." But I already told you how Alabama does when it comes to seers. They laugh. It's never a valuable source. But who knows if what I was seeing at that moment could have been where her ass was, and this could have been over a long time ago. But don't you worry about it. See, the universe intervenes when it needs to. Don't worry about it. We're going to get her home one way or the other. We're going to bring justice to the situation one way or the other, because that's what I do. I said, I protected her. I've done heavy spell work for her, but I need somebody to meet me halfway. Because again, I'm not being reciprocated for this. So it does no good for me to put all of this into the universe and nobody's willing to move. There's an unequal balance here. I said, this is crazy, because Alabama police laughed at me when I did when Cupcake McKinney was missing. I was hired to work the case by her aunt. I warned the people and told the FBI the killer's truck was backed into the apartment building. I went into details about that. I won't go into that here. She said, "I know. I'm so weak. Like, I can't take this. It's becoming entirely too much." I woke up the next morning. This was at, let me clarify this. This is
now on July 15th.
Yeah, this is 8:17 p.m. 8:17 a.m. on July 15th, by the way, that they're supposed to go out and look for. At 9:11, how ironic, at 9:11, okay? 911. I go look at St. Anthony's candle and it's broken.
What does that mean?
Whatever I asked for has now been broken up. His regular candle is still burning, but the red candles that I used to expedite her return, the glass is broken.
Wow.
Okay? She says, let me go back down. I said, some shit has been broken up. Okay, y'all see that? I'm telling her something has been broken up at 911. She said, at 9:30, what does that mean? I said, I've done everything to release her. The glass means I broke up the blockages. She said, oh, okay. Yes, that's what I was asking about the glass. I said, I have readings to do today, but I've gone above and beyond for her return. I pray that you all get the clarity and closure that you need today. Keep me updated, because now I got to pull myself out of this because I've done what I was supposed to do. Thank you, love. And you know it's appreciated very much. I will definitely keep you posted. Okay. At 6:21, my spider senses start tingling again. Now, I done told myself to pull off of it, but I'm back in the trenches again because I ain't got no updates, right? Hey, love, have you all gone back to the warehouse? Yes and nothing. What building? All of them. The police helped. No sign that they were occupied. Listen to this.
Like at any point, like had they been occupied? Like did they see any signs of somebody had, been in there?
She said the managers actually opened them up. I said, well, how did the managers look? Black, younger male, older black female. I said, can you give the exact address to the 6-2 address I gave? She gave 6201 Industrial Boulevard. Then from there, we went to the other storage areas on that road, sis. Give me a second. I'll call you with some more info. At 829, I looked up that building, and it's not a storage unit. It's actually an old concrete building. It's actually a concrete company with a railroad track in the back with storage units.
Wow.
I said, sis, it's Southern Industrial Boulevard. Even if not, this seems so odd to me. It's listed as a concrete company, but on paper, it's cargo. I also said I felt she was there yesterday, and I felt they would move at night. Now this is bothering me, because why would spirit lead me to that location? I then show her the address of what I found. I'm saying, sis, the damn train from the back of the building to the train in a damn unit. When was the last time the train ran? No response. At 11:02, I get a video call that I missed saying we have her.
So at 11:02 p.m., you get a video call from the family and a text message on July 15th confirming that they had Carlee.
Yes. And July 15th at 11:05, because I missed it because I was putting my daughter in the bathtub. So I called back, but not on video because, again, I'm in the bathroom with my daughter. I talked to her for 2 minutes. Now I'm going to set my phone down because this is what you guys don't know, okay? She said that they heard a banging on the door, and when they opened the door, she fell inside. The sister was crying. She said, we have her. I said, was she hurt? She said, yes, she's hurt, but nothing that God can't fix. She said, when the two medics, which were white men, walked over to Carlee, that she went into shock again. She said, we're on our way to the hospital. I will keep you updated. I then told her, I said, I'm not asking for money. I said, but based off of what I've done for your family, just a simple thank you. I said, no, you're thanking me behind closed doors, but just acknowledge what I've done, because heavy energy was shifted for this very moment. And I never heard back. Okay. I never heard back. She acknowledged that she would, and I never heard back. That was at 11:05. 11:30, I said, I'm sitting here in awe, because magic really brought her home. And she and I said, the spell work. I just told you this morning, I broke up her being held hostage, and she hearted that. And that's the last time I heard from them.
So let me pause for a moment, because again, I already know what the critics are saying. I've been reading all of the blogs, and I've been reading the feedback and the speculation. And of course, we understand where energy is transferring. What do you say to those who say, well, she probably wasn't in a warehouse. Maybe she was at the Red Roof Inn. How does this psychic know that she was really in this place? Did the family tell you some things that Carlee was saying? And you may or may not be able to say them, as she was going in and out of consciousness that night?
Yes. She said gas station, basement, gas station, basement. And then the white medics walked over to her, and she went into shock.
Gotcha. And so keep in mind, for those of you who are listening, when you see things, as she said earlier, she's seeing what's in the oversoul, what's in the mind's eye, what's being conjured, what story Carlee may be creating, or what things Carlee may have seen, may not have seen. We don't know where she physically was. We don't know if, in fact, there was an abductor. I know you all are watching the media and you're seeing, well, hey, sis, where's the snacks that were in the car? And where's this baby that was on the highway? Where are all these things? And you may or may not be able to give to an opinion to that. And I know the world is thinking there's definitely some there's some pee in the water. There's something that doesn't smell right. There's something that's a little shady. What do you say to that? Whether you have an opinion or not, but what do you say to that? And what do you say to those that say, well, she wasn't in a storage in a warehouse? What do you say to that, Aries?
I say this. Our imagination is powerful, right?
Right.
That's how you're able to manifest. You imagine these things, and then the universe attracts what you imagine. Now, pause for a minute.
Mm.
She may have not been in a storage unit.
She may have been storing herself.
Mean
Sorry.
that she can pass by those areas on the east end with whoever or whatever whatever it was. Those locations were prominent. Okay, whether it ever comes out or not, you could have, if this is something that's, now I do have my opinion and I do feel and know exactly what the hell took place, but I'm gonna let the police do their job. No, I brought justice. Okay,
yes, you brought her home.
All right, so if you're riding by a house that you love, can't you envision yourself in that mansion?
I sure can.
Can't you envision yourself when you drive by those luxury car lots that Mercedes or that Lamborghini is going to be yours one day? Now, yes. Imagine me tapping into you at the very moment that you're driving by a Lamborghini and you're saying, I'm going to drive that motherfucker. Then what I tap into is, I'm going to drive this motherfucker. Oh, baby, she's in a Lamborghini right now.
Right. Because that's what we're seeing.
I'm in your head. If you want to be pregnant, right? We visualize our womb holding the baby, so that if I'm tapping into somebody and they say it's such and such pregnant, well, right now the cards show that this individual is pregnant, but it doesn't mean that that's a physical baby. We're manifesting what it is that we want our reality to be. And that's what happens when I solve missing persons cases. I tap into their oversoul and allow the information that is being given to be relayed to the family to see if it resonates, which is why I kept following up. Now, somebody's going to say, but I thought you said that you weren't invested. I wasn't. But when I start tapping in and I wasn't getting any feedback, now I'm feeling some type of way, because why the hell y'all not responded? If I'm giving you the leads, why ain't nobody telling me that the lead has been followed up? Because now we're wasting time, and time is of the essence when it comes to working a case. It really is.
Especially a missing persons case, because we know the first 48 hours are the most critical.
Yes. Now, let me also say this, because a lot of y'all bashed a lot of these spiritualists and said that they didn't know what they were doing. Their receipts weren't valid, because a lot of spiritualists seen this not ending well. A lot of spiritualists seen her coming up dead. Let's talk about on the spiritual eye. Death does not always have to mean a physical death. Death can sometimes be the ending of somebody's their character, their reputation, their validity. It could also mean the ending of a time period. This is going to come to an end. Just because somebody calls death in their spiritualist doesn't mean that it has to be a physical death. The death card in tarot means new beginnings and ending. There's a death to this situation so that spiritual transformation can come. Y'all want to tap in and follow these spiritualists. Y'all want to tap in when it's convenient for you. And stop dibbling and dabbling in convenience and operate. If this is truly what you want to do and truly what you want to align with, then you need to fix your mind, your body, and your soul to align with what it is that you're tapping into. Then there can be no doubt. But if you're coming from a space of skepticism, then you're never pure. Because sometimes and oftentimes, many people are being held captive in their own minds, and that's 90% of the world who refuses to deal with their traumas. We take a step back and stop judging and analyzing and being cruel. Whatever the situation is, whether you were preyed on or you prayed for this situation, okay? If you felt like you were hustled, you were only hustled if you invested your time, your energy, and your money. Okay, if you were just sitting on the sidelines, being skeptical the whole time, you were only invested in drama from the first time, in the first place. But if you genuinely poured in, if you genuinely shared the post, if you genuinely made a call, if you genuinely got your ass out there and helped look, if you genuinely sowed a seed, then you have every right to be upset because you didn't get your answer. I was one person who was like, ain't nobody saying nothing. Now I'm feeling some type of way because I'm invested.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I planted a seed and nothing is coming out of it. And now I need to know, is my seed growing or are you just sitting here? Because you got to meet them halfway. But you don't get the right to sit on the sidelines and eat popcorn and cross your legs. And because again, I protected her from those who were holding her hostage or those who were causing harm to her. Now, if she was one of the ones who caused harm to herself, then she'll be dealt with. But there's also reciprocity for those who are going against her as well. That's the way the blanket cast out.
Mm.
You have to keep that in mind. I do what I know is right, and I don't often care what that looks like for other people, as long as I know I'm operating under universal law and nobody is getting harmed. Okay. But what we're doing in this moment, we have to show a reflection of us, because if you share something that is putting somebody down or making a joke about that person, yeah, you could be pissed off, but it's also a reflection of how you have spiritually healed and where you are at in your life. Because at the end of the day, if help is needed, then it takes a fucking village to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my part. Now, the world, when you finish laughing, when you finish throwing rocks and hiding your hands or being bold with throwing your rocks, understand your mannerism and your character is a reflection of your healing. And that's it. That's all.
I love that. Aries, I want to first and foremost say thank you for sharing your story with us today, because there is a lot of naysay out there. There's a lot of bad press. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of angry people who want to know more, who want to understand why. And I'm sure as whoever continues their investigation, we take nothing from the authorities. We take nothing from the hands that have been involved in investigating this case. We just wanted to come forward and allow you an opportunity to share your story and your involvement as a person who was right there with the family, with the sister, if you will, pouring in energy, time, and resources to ensure that wherever Carlee was, whether or not, like I said, I'm sharing this with you all, and again, because I understand the platforms, you all can take it as entertainment, you can take it as what you want. But I wanted to share this perspective with you all from Aries, again, because she did work this case. She did pour in her resources. And whatever the outcome is, whatever we find out today from Hoover, because again, we're all scratching our heads, we've all got questions. I want you to understand that there was one job that had to be done. And that job was bringing Carlee Russell home by any means necessary. Now, whether we find out it's a hoax or whether we find out that it's valid, again, understanding that the one job was to bring her home. And we thank you, Aries Eye, for going into the spiritual realm, for performing such a daunting assignment, for exerting so much energy to ensure that this young lady got back to the doorsteps of her parents, because you were no longer leaving it to the authorities or to the other powers that be. Your job was to bring her home. And so I salute you and I say, job well done. Any closing comments for the listeners this afternoon, Miss Aries?
I just want to tell you guys that a lot of you just don't know how powerful you are. And something so simple as putting her name in a fly trap and lighting a candle and asking St. Anthony to return her to her family, back to her family, and for her to show up on the doorstep, whether she did it, that's again that oversoul energy, or whether the universe did it. The prayer was answered. And a lot of you guys are putting the most simplest things. You have to listen. They say faith without the work is dead, right? Then they tell you to fake it until you make it. Well, how the hell can you fake it until you make it if you put faith in and have, faith without the work? And if I'm working in faith, then how do I have to fake anything? I'm going to tell you to faith it until you make it. because I promise you, the universe will bend to those wishes. If you operate in faith and if you trust your gut, it'll never steer you wrong. What is your gut telling you? If your gut is telling you something, that's the answer. You don't have to worry about it being anything else. That is the universe's way of telling you, that's God's way of telling you that you're on the right track. So, for those of you who are doubting yourself, for those of you who are doubting this situation, all I'm going to do is tell you is to trust what your gut just told you. And even if you feel like your gut told you I was fake, so mote it be if that's the way you feel. I know who I am. So nothing else that you feel bothers me because I know me. That's it.
Oh, I am so grateful to have an opportunity to get to know you, Aries. For those of you that need to find her services, how you can reach her, again, you can find her on social media. Go ahead and tell them your platforms and your website address and how to get in touch with you, Aries.
My platform on social media, uh, TikTok and Instagram is the real Aries Eye, and on Facebook it is Satin, Satin map, MAPP. Because they won't let me change the child, and I can be reached at arieseye.org.
Aries Eye, Aries, ARIESEYE.org.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this hour with us today. Listen, for those of you who already know, you can connect with She Speaks TV at She Speaks Global, SheSpeaksWorldwide.com. And as always, we will see you at the top. And we look forward to seeing what comes out of Hoover, Alabama's press conference today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. This has been a moment with She Speaks TV and the real Aries Eye regarding Carlee Russell. We'll see you at the top because the bottom is just too crowded. Thank you
And
so much, everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Mm-mm.